What's going on, YouTube? I just did a video and I'm doing another. I'm on a roll. I got a S4 video coming very soon on CM11. I got the same battery on both phones. That video is going to be uploading right before you see this one, so I'll have a link to it in the description if you're like, hey, I want a 7,200 milliamp hour battery on my S3. I want all day battery life, all week battery life. Screw a day. So we are on 4.3, as you can see right there, but I've been wanting to put this on CM11 to match what's on this phone, and what's matching on my Nexus 5 here. My wife has the Nexus 5 as well. She has the white one. I did an unboxing video of both the black and white Nexus 5 in the same video. And I have CM11 on my daughter's Nexus 7. I have CM11 on my Nexus 7. I have CM11 on almost everything. So today we're here to install CM11 on our Galaxy S3. Please keep in mind that before you watch this video, this method will work on every single variant of the S3. There's the AT&T, there's the, which is D2 ATT, there's the Sprint one, which is this one, which is the D2 SPR, there's the D2 VZW, which is Verizon. Every single variant, the US Cellular, the GSM, the i9300, every single version of the Galaxy S3, you can follow along with this video. The only difference is when you go to flash CM11, you'll make sure that instead of flashing CM11 D2 SPR, if you have Verizon, you'll flash CM11 D2 VZW. If you're on T-Mobile, you'll do D2 TMO. Just make sure you're flashing the correct one for your phone. What we're going to do is we're going to open up the web browser here, and we're going to go to here, and we're going to search twerp Galaxy S3 Sprint. One of the first things you see is Team Win twerp for Samsung Galaxy S3 Sprint, and you'll just go down here and you'll find select the latest image from here, and then when you do that, you will get brought up to this page right here, and we'll go ahead and download 2631, which is the latest as of this video. For some reason, they didn't name it D2 SPR. Again, if you're using the AT&T version, make sure you go to twerp and you Google Galaxy S3 AT&T, and you download the D2 ATT file instead of the D2 SPR file. And with Verizon, D2 VZW. Just make sure you're not using the file. Like, if you're on a T-Mobile S3, don't use Recovery or CM11 that was meant for the S3. I'll have a link to all the variants that CyanogenMod supports on the S3. As far as the recovery, you'll have to Google that and find that on your own. It's pretty simple, like you just saw me do. So we'll do another model real quick. So on Verizon, it brings up Team Win Galaxy S3 for Verizon right there. And you'll go to download the latest image file. And then you'll go down here and you'll download d2vzw.image. Hopefully you understand. I'm not going to drag this on anymore. Now that's done downloading, let's go ahead and download an app called Recovery Tools. And then we'll search for that. And it's going to be an app with a little green circle in it made by DSL Nexus. A little circle thing there. Just go ahead and accept it, install it. And then we'll open it up. You do need to be rooted in order to do this. If you're not rooted, you need to use CFI root and root your Galaxy S3 with that. So I know the risk, or you can choose backup if you want. I'm going to go ahead and choose Flash Other Recovery. The reason I'm not going to choose these is because personally, as you're seeing right now, 2631 is the latest. And if we go here, it says 2630 is the latest, which it's not. So that's why I download it manually, so I know I have the latest version. Flash Other Recovery. Why did it? Oh, Flash Other Recovery, my bad. And then go to your downloads, and then there's the 2631. Yes, please, flash that. And it'll take just a second. You can choose yes, please to go into recovery, but I'm going to show you how to get into recovery manually. We're going to go ahead and turn the Galaxy S4 off. You're going to need to download two files. You're going to need the CM11 KitKat G apps to give you the Google Play Store, and you're also going to need the CM11. Either if you have the Sprint, you're going to need the CM11 D2 SPR. If you have Verizon, you're going to need the CM11 D2 VZW, and it continues so on and so on. So we're going to press volume up, the home button and the power button, and we're going to do that until we see recovery booting, and we're going to let go. And hopefully it gets us into our recovery. You might see that if you have CyanogenMod installed And so here we are in our torp recovery. As you can see, we are on 2631. Now, the files can be on your internal storage, but I highly recommend putting them on your external storage, which is the SD card that's in, well, the SD card slot if you have one in there. But I'm going to be using this little guy right here. It is the Minova SD card reader. Just search wwjoshdew, MEENOVA. I'll also have a link in the description. And it's a really cool adapter that you can just take an SD card, put in here, and flash. You can put that ROM and you can flash, 6 different phones with the files that are on here. Like I can take this and flash my HTC One, and then I can take it, flash my my Nexus 5, and then I can flash my Galaxy S4. I can flash any device that supports USB OTG. So I've got the CM11 and I've got the G-Apps on here. So I'm going to plug this into the bottom here. And the little thing is lighting up letting me know that it's working. If you flash, okay, so here's the story behind this. If you go with the nightly, you can flash every single night. You can install a new nightly over your old nightly. If you go from a nightly, you can flash a monthly, which is a snapshot, which is more stable than a nightly. So like right now, we're going to be flashing monthly version 2. So when monthly version 3 comes out next month, I'll flash that. That's the most stable you can get next to a release candidate. That's the next most stable ROM. So if you see a release candidate that's CM11, flash that instead of a snapshot, which is an M1, M2, M3, M4, etc. That's just going to be more stable. A release candidate is damn near stable. There's almost absolutely nothing wrong with the ROM, and you shouldn't have any issues. Monthlies are pretty stable. I flash those instead of nightlies because nightlies are annoying, updating, every other night or so. You don't have to update every night, but you can. So we're going to be flashing a monthly. If CM11 Stable comes out months down the road, you'll want to flash that instead of the one I'm doing in the video. So I'm going to do my best to keep the description of this video updated the best I can. Heck, I just went the other day and updated the description of my CM10.2 video on the Galaxy S3 to reflect the latest changes. So we're going to go to Wipe, and we're going to choose Swipe to Factory Reset. That's all you have to do. You have to do that when you're coming from CM10.2 to CM11. Some people are going to try it and it's going to work. And they're going to go, huh, I did it, it worked. But then some people are going to do it and their phone's going to have nothing but force closes. This app's not responding, and you're going to not be able to use your phone at all, and you're going to be forced to go into recovery and do a factory reset. So if you don't want to do a factory reset, you can go into CM11, CM10.2 or whatever you had before. You can download Titanium Backup from the Google Play Store. You can back up one single app. It's going to put it on your internal storage. Open up a file browser, cut that Titanium Backup folder from your internal storage to your external storage, go back into Titanium Backup, back up all user apps, not system data, all user apps. And then from then on out, it'll put all those on your external SD card. Then go in here and do a factory reset. If you use Titanium Backup and you back up all of your apps, when you go to CM11, you can restore the apps like Asphalt, Need for Speed, Angry Birds, etc. You can restore all that data, but you have to do a factory reset. You're going to run into issues, and nobody, CyanogenMod team isn't going to answer your questions. Do a factory reset. It's that simple. You saw me do it. And if you're on a ROM that you really want to keep, like you're like a stock ROM where you want to keep stuff, you can go to backup and choose boot system data. Don't do recovery, don't do cache. Enable compression for a smaller file size. Change it to micro SD card or the USB OTG, which is this guy right here, and then press OK. And then swipe to backup. You'll want to do that if like you were on a stock ROM before, and if say CM11 is not stable enough for you, you can go back to your previous ROM. Now I was on CM10.2, so that's why I did a factory reset without backing that up. And then next you'll go to install, and here's where you'll need to choose where you put it. If you don't have an SD card at all, then you put it on your internal storage. If you have an SD card in there, then it's on your micro SD card. If you have a little Minova SD card reader in there, then choose USB OTG, press OK, and then in here we're going to go down till we find CM11. And then M2, D2 SPR. Again, it could be M3 next month. It could be M4 the month after that. Make sure you flash the updated version instead of the older version. And then just press on it. And then we're not done yet. We'll need to press add more zips. And then we're going to need to go to these G-apps. 1208 is the one that CyanogenMod recommend and I recommend. If you want to enable art, which is not not officially supported by CyanogenMod, then you'll need the 1119. If you don't know what art is, don't even worry about it. Just go with the 1208 and swipe to confirm flash. That's going to flash CM11 to our Samsung Galaxy S3. So whether you have the AT&T, the T-Mobile, Verizon, US Cellular, International, no matter which version of the Galaxy S3 you have, right now you're flashing CM11. Just make sure that that says D2 BCW, D2 TMO, D2 ATT. I'm repeating myself, and people are gonna bash me about that, but I'm just trying to stress out the fact that if you're on a Sprint Galaxy S3 and you flash a D2 BCW on there, it should fail. If it doesn't fail, then you screwed your phone up. So just make sure you're paying attention and you're doing the right files. And so this will be done here in just a second. And when it's done, we can press reboot system. Now I want to also say something else. This is not just the how to install. I don't like making a 4-minute or 5-minute how to install video and then so many people have questions. I like to also go through the first things I do when I set up, a CyanogenMod ROM on my device. So you're gonna have this little guy right here instead of the plain Galaxy S3 screen, which is cool. I really like that because it just makes it unique. You're gonna see this little thing instead of the stock one. And the first boot up always takes the longest because it's gotta build everything. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and press next. And then this is where if you've never done this before, you'll need to create a new account. I already have one, so I'm just gonna choose login. And then I'm gonna go to my Wi-Fi here and log into my Wi-Fi. Okay, and then we're gonna go ahead and log into our CyanogenMod account now. Once you enter in your CyanogenMod account information, if it's correct, you'll hit login and it'll bring you to the screen right here. And we're gonna go ahead and log into our Google account by pressing yes. If you signed in successfully, you'll get brought to the screen right here. I go down here and I uncheck communications, press next. And then, by the way, this little card reader, once you press reboot system, once the light turns off on it, you can unplug it. You don't need it. You can actually, I'll just do it right now. I don't need it anymore. I've already flashed the ROM. And then just go ahead next. And then we're Central Time, so let that finish up here. And then Launcher 3 is the CyanogenMod launcher. They may rename it in the future, so just ignore Launcher 3. Launcher is the stock one that you get from Google. So we're going to press OK. OK. And then we're going to say, OK, Google. What is Eminem's real name?
Eminem's full name is Marshall Bruce Mathers III.
So there you have the neat little OK Google thing, and you can just, well, not that time. You can just ask it questions. Something I really like about CyanogenMod is if we open up a bunch of apps here, like File Manager, and then we open up the clock, and then we open up okay, we'll open up the Google Play Store, and then we'll open up just anything, and when you press the home button for a second, you get brought up with this, and you can just hit this little button right here, and it just swipes everything out of the way and kills it. It's pretty freaking awesome. Something I want to show you real quick is when you first install this, you're going to notice that when you bring down this side, there's your quick toggle, so you can like press on brightness and turn the brightness up or down by sliding this little bar, and this side will bring up your notifications. I don't like that because a lot of times I find myself holding my phone like this, and I'm like, oh crap, that's not my notifications. I gotta press this and switch over. So if you, let me stop it from downloading all my apps here. If you go to here to settings, and then you go down to interface, and you choose quick settings panel, you can actually go to quick pull down, and you can turn that off. Whoops, I messed up there. Quick pull down and turn that off. So now when you bring down on the right, that's your notifications. When you bring down on the left, that's your notifications. You can still get to that by pressing on this little guy right here and flipping it around, or you can use 2 fingers and that brings up your quick toggles. So other things I do when I get my phone is I go to status bar and I choose percentage. So there's a little number right there that lets me know I have 41% instead of a guessing game and then dragging this down and pressing on your note on this to find out how much you actually have. And then I also go to security or about device here. You'll notice there's no developer options. So you'll need to go to about phone, go down to the build number, keep tapping on that, go to developer options. This is for if you want to use Titanium Backup or install apps that are not from the Google Play Store. This is the advanced reboot. When you hold on the power button and you choose reboot, there's only one option there, to reboot. And when you press on advanced reboot and you hold the power button down, now you can just choose reboot to recovery or bootloader. It's pretty cool. And for root access, choose disabled, because you're going to have issues with Titanium Backup. It's going to recommend you install SuperSU, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So choose disabled and ignore that. You will have root after you do what I'm fixing to do next. Android debugging, press OK. Uncheck this box if you don't want to see the little thing pop up every time you plug your phone into your computer. And that's about it. I just unchecked verify apps or USB. And so security. I uncheck make passwords visible. That's optional though. You'll want to check unknown sources, press OK, and then uncheck verify apps. Now Titanium Backup will have no issues when you launch it. And speaking of Titanium Backup, when you install it, you're going to need to tell it to look in your external SD card. So you'll install Titanium Backup from the Google Play Store. When it loads up, if it says restore your previous ID, press yes. Because if you don't, it's going to, some apps that rely on that Android ID are going to go, hey, something's different, and it's not going to restore the data properly, and you're going to have to start all over. You need the pro version for that. If you're debating on whether you should spend that $7 or $6 or whatever it is, I have a video, and you can watch it. I'll link to it in the description, or you can just go to the Play Store and search for an app called Titanium Backup with root, and then you can just press on the video that's linked right there. That's my video, and it'll, it'll just run down most of the things that you can do with Titanium Backup and if it's worth buying or not, which, trust me, it is. So the video was over, but has a little thing at the end here. Let's go ahead and install Titanium Backup, and we'll install the free version, and then we'll hit install and then accept, and then I pay for the pro version, so I'll go ahead and install that. And this is simply just to show you how it's going to work with root now, because some of you may want to know that. So it went ahead and finished. We'll open up Titanium Backup here, and when it asks for root permission, hit grant, and boom shakalaka. You can see, here's the Android ID thing. Just hit restore the previous ID, and bam, it reboots. And apps that relied on that Android ID to successfully restore the data will work just fine. So I highly recommend getting the pro version. Yeah, that's about it. Oh yeah, let's fix that thing real quick. So what I recommend doing is just opening up your stock launcher here, going to the browser, and then here I need you to search SuperSU, and then search for it, and then it's going to pop up here. Go to the XDA thread, and you'll want to find a link that says CWM, twerp, or mobile Odin right there. It's this link. And then when you click on it, if I can get it to do it, it'll take you to this page. And when you're on this page, you'll download this file right here, update SuperSU, and then whatever version number it says. Of course, it'll be newer when you watch the video later on. And you'll just wait for that to download. Alright, so it's almost done downloading. We're going to go ahead and hold the power button, and we're going to choose reboot into recovery and press OK. When recovery pops up, just go to install, and then make sure it's your internal storage. Go to your download folder, and you'll see SuperSU 186. I did this a while ago. I do this all the time when I install CM because, again, if you try to use Titanium Backup or some other apps that use the the super user binary, you're going to encounter issues. So that's why we flash SuperSU, because they fix those issues. So we're going to go ahead and just swipe to confirm flash. It takes all but a second, and you can reboot system. Now you won't have any issues with super user. Whenever you go to the Play Store and SuperSU had an update, you'll want to make sure you open the app up, and when it says, do you want to, the binary needs to update, do you want to do a normal or do you want to do a twerp CWM installation of it? Hit normal. You're on CyanogenMod. You shouldn't have any issues in the world with it not, flashing the binary while you're in Android. So starting up here, and we're going to go ahead and head over to our new app that's in our app drawer, and SuperSU right there. And then when you turn it on, it's going to say, do you want to install an add-on? Yes, I do. Press OK. And then what I highly recommend doing is unchecking reauthentication. Trust me, it'll just get on your nerves. And then go down here and you'll find a thing that says respect CM root. Remember when we hit disable? Uncheck that. Now it'll ignore CyanogenMod, and whatever requests root will go through SuperSU. And also you'll want to press install SuperSU backup script. And once you do it, you'll know because you can't do it again. And there you have it. You're set to go. I recommend upgrading to the Pro version if you can do that. I already paid for it. That's why mine doesn't say the price. It just says install. Because once you download it on my, like say I download it on my S4, I can go to my S3 and re-download it. You just got to pay for it once, and you can re-download it an infinite amount of times on all of your devices. So now we have SuperSU Pro, and yeah. Let's go ahead and show you the version of Android real quick before we end this video. So right here we have 4.4.2. So now it matches my S4, my HTC One, my Nexus 5, my Nexus 7, and all my other devices. And CM11 will be in my Note 3 soon enough. And I'll put it in my Note 2 soon too. And I don't know if it'll work on here, but if you go to CyanogenMod version, okay, I guess they stopped doing that. So there's no more CyanogenMod version right there. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure you give it a thumbs up by clicking the like button below. Trust me, it goes a long way, and it helps the channel out more than you probably know. If you're new here, please hit that red subscribe button. It'll notify you of future videos on the S3, the S4, the HTC One, Note 2, Note 3, etc. This may be my last S3 video, because I might be selling this soon. If my wife does sell it, then I will probably get another one someday if, CM12 or CM13 or CM11.1 or something comes out and it's really cool and I need to do a video on it. So it doesn't mean you'll never see another S3 video again. I'm just giving you a heads up. If you want to stay up to date and know the very latest videos that I'm working on, please follow me on Twitter. I just posted on Twitter when I hit export in Premiere on my S3, S4 extended battery video, and I immediately started recording this one. And I tweeted, I tweeted on Twitter, I was like, look, I have this video fixing to be uploading soon, and I'm going to be working on CM11 for the S3. If you are following me on Twitter, you would know that. You'd know this video is coming today. I also post quite a bit on Instagram. If you want to follow me on there, just send me a follow request. I'll accept it as soon as I possibly can. I also have Facebook, Google+, Vine. I have a second channel. I have a gaming channel. Links to everything will be in the description below. Please click where it says show more near the bottom of the video to expand the description and see all the links. This is What Would Josh Do, and I'm out.